Hello, I'm Peggy O'Neill, and welcome to today's Facebook Live, How to Allow the Universe to Nudge Us. I'm the founder of this Facebook community, Answering the Call. And by answering the call, I mean we're doing two things. One is many of us feel this longing that I'm touching my heart area, this longing that there must be something more to life, or I don't want to miss out on something, or I know there's something here for me to express or do. I don't quite know what that is, or it's just something else for me. It may not even be a doing. It may just be there's just something calling to you, and so that's why it's called answering the call. And there is. If we're experiencing a longing, there is a calling there. So the first is that we investigate that and realize that the calling is coming from us. I mean, we know that already, but the calling is for us to return to our true nature, knowing that we're one with everything, and that our inherent being is loving, peaceful, happy, and fulfilled. And then the second aspect to answering the call is part of what I said on the first, which is that we know there's something unique for us with regard to all of this. So it's then allowing ourselves for that to be revealed to us. What is my unique expression? What is what is the universe trying to express through me in a unique way that I'm to express? And it could be with something to do, a career, a profession, a new profession, or it could be a way of being that you're wanting to integrate and be and live in the world, that is actually who you naturally are. It would have just been covered up by beliefs and habits and conditioning that would keep you from fully expressing that. So that's what we're doing here. So welcome if you're here, as Sharon just did, saying hi. Hi, Sharon. I'm so glad you're here. I've been introducing Answering the Call. So you're very familiar with that. And so if you are watching this live, please, like Sharon did, say hi. Let us know that you're here. If you have any questions or comments throughout, please post them and we'll talk about them. And if you're watching this on replay, also please put in hashtag replay. Same. If you have questions or comments, please let me know. So we'll dive right in. How to allow the universe to nudge me. So what we're going to explore is what it means that I am one with the universe. I'll explain why that's important in a minute. How to know if I'm getting a nudge from the universe. And how to trust that everything will be all right if I let go of what I think I should do right now. So first, what it means that I'm one with the universe. So what does this have to do with allowing the universe to nudge us? Well, technically I say allow the universe to nudge us. So it sounds like there's a universe and then there's an us. And there's not. So sometimes language gets in the way of us knowing who we are and trying to live it, because we've got to have some language to try to describe, try to get at, try to point to what it is we're talking about. So we're actually one with the universe. And so that's the first part of this. So why is that important to know that? Well, because if we identify with that we're separate from the universe, and then we can experience ourselves as finite and limited, and then we're not as likely to be able to trust the nudges, hear the nudges, listen for the nudges. We're still focused on believing that we're this separate finite self, and we're listening with that way of thinking, with that mind, more of a rational mind, more trying to figure things out or listen for something that seems obvious or real rational or already all done and figured out. I'm coming to find out that the universe only gives us nudges like a step at a time. The universe rarely says, and here's where you're going, and here's what it's going to look like. Pretty rare. We get these, and I don't know if we ever do. If we're really listening to the universe ourselves, then we just get nudges for the next step. If you've ever seen Indiana Jones and I think it's the Raiders of the Lost Ark, when he steps out onto that crevasse, it's like almost like that. And it can feel like that sometimes to some of us who are living, allowing the universe to nudge us and guide us, and which it always is anyway. Just most of the time we're filtering it through the sense of a separate self, and we seem to edit out. In fact, we're not able to hear what the universe is trying to tell us because we're too busy focusing on our thinking. So What it means that I'm one with the universe, why that's important, is, again, so we can hear in that open, expansive, infinite sort of way, which our minds don't quite understand, but that's okay, because now we're more open and can have a different perspective than our finite perspective. And so when I'm one with the universe, then I'm also experiencing a more expansive self, if you will. We're not a separate self, but this sense of existence, this more expansive existence. So it feels like there's more possibility, and that opens us to more possibility. So that's why it's important to know that we're one with the universe, and then what it means to be. And in fact, let's right now have an experience of that. So if you're not driving, then please close your eyes. If you don't want to close your eyes, then relax your eyes and focus about 6 to 8 feet in front of you with your eyes. And just allow yourself to notice your being, the sense of I am. And then allow yourself to experience yourself zooming out beyond the what we typically think are the confines of our body. So zoom out your awareness beyond the immediate space and attention that we are often focused on. So allow your awareness to take in my voice, any other sounds you hear. Notice any smells. Notice any taste. And now allow yourself to zoom out your experience, your awareness even further. And one more time, zoom out as far as you can, your awareness. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So you might notice a different experience of your existence by allowing yourself to do that. And as we expand our awareness, not focused on such a finite, limited being and area around us, and our attention so focused, but relax our attention and expand that attention, our awareness rather, then we experience ourselves more as one with the universe, because we're actually that awareness that keeps expanding, keeps expanding, keeps expanding when we relax our attention from our limitations, seeming limitations. So you can probably answer for yourself now what it means that I am one with the universe and why that's important. All right, so then how to know if I'm getting a nudge from the universe. This is interesting. It really takes some trust. It takes some paying a different kind of attention. Usually we're so focused, we're so busy that we are paying attention to the same thoughts over and over, the same activities over and over, the same relationships over and over. So it's useful to realize that, and just in that realization, it can open us up to be noticing other things than we normally notice. And these nudges are often not like knocks over the head. Again, we'd like those knocks over the head, right? Go do this. Real clear. We got some guidance here. Probably won't be that way. It's going to be more like this sense, oh, maybe I'm to do this next, or to go here next. Or most of us have had some sense like, oh, I ought to call this friend. We get this nudge to call this friend. Sometimes we ignore it. Sometimes we do call them. And of course, the proverbial, oh, I was thinking of you too. Or maybe something's going on with them. So as we tune in more to the universe that we are and allow ourselves to be more sensitive, be more open, then we can start sensing these nudges. We often will have ideas, and they won't be the same quality as our thoughts. Our thoughts tend to be directive, judgmental. You should do this, you shouldn't do that, you need to do this, this is what's next, go solve this. They seem to be those sorts of things. Sometimes we have ideas from our thinking that, like, we're trying to come up with a way to run a meeting or something, but we're focused on our thoughts. We've asked a question and our thoughts are going to try to come in and answer that question. How can I have this meeting be a fabulous meeting? And our thoughts try to answer that. If we allow ourselves to not pay attention to our thoughts, we can still ask the question, what might be a great way to run the meeting? And then we don't listen to any thoughts, then an idea can come. It'll have a different quality. And sometimes these ideas seem like, I can't really do that. I shouldn't do that. Well, this comes to the next one, how to trust that everything will be all right if I let go of what I think I should do right now. So the world's not going to fall apart, hopefully. I mean, in your experience, it might seem like it does. I know sometimes. But if we listen to that, another way to run the meeting, that maybe I'll trust the universe. I'll trust this idea and bring it, even though it might be different. Of course, you can always tell your team or your group or your family, if it's a family meeting, you want to do something different with your family. Hey, I've had this idea. I want to do something different. So you can kind of pave the way for family or work colleagues as these new ideas come to you. And then see. Try it. We can try it. And we can always change our minds. That's one of the things about trusting these nudges. You trust, you step into it. Okay, if you get too afraid, you don't have to stick with it. You can try again next time. Okay, I'm going to listen to the nudge next time and see. Another way is that we can think, I really need to do this. Like, I need to start the meeting on time. And then we can feel resistance or frustration, or I've got to get somewhere and we're in a hurry. Then we can tell ourselves, well, maybe I don't need to. What if I don't? Now, and sometimes we relax and we go, I'll go be at the meeting on time. So why does that shift? Well, when we're so, again, focused on our thoughts, what we should do, have to do, must do, you can probably even hear it. I can feel it as I'm saying that. That starts creating resistance and contraction. And so it adds to, and then we feel like we don't want to do it. And then when we relax that thinking, see what happened is we quit paying attention to the thinking. We relax the thinking, and then, now I do feel like I'm ready to go start the meeting on time. It's counterintuitive, right? We think, well, if I don't keep focusing on that and do that, then I won't start the meeting on time, and then I'll change, my whole reputation will be thrown out the door, thrown out the window, it'll all be over. Instead of, well, let me relax and let me see. Let me not pay attention to that thinking. And then some other idea may come. Yes, you still may not go start the meeting on time. Maybe it'll even come to you, it really ought to be canceled today. Or something else. But it's starting to trust, allow ourselves to know that we're really all along being lived by the universe. And relaxing into that and allowing. And in doing that, paradoxically, we wind up having more of what we think we want in life. Peace, love, happiness, fulfillment. Because now we're not looking on trying to get ourselves to do something to make all that happen. And we're relaxing into the knowing of who we are. And then the nudges are moving us along. And we're feeling more peaceful and relaxed because we're not listening to our thinking that's judging all of this and demanding all of this. And so we more naturally do some of those things that we ought to do, like start a meeting on time, or don't hold it, or whatever. But see, we're so afraid of that something could really mess up in our lives if we quit listening to our thinking and listening to our nudges. And yet, if you read the email I sent out this week, maybe the universe has a better idea. I don't remember if that's the title I put, but something like that. Maybe the universe knows. The universe might know a little bit more than we do, you think? We see ourselves as this finite, limited being. The universe knows everything, is everything. And remember how we started today. And we are the universe. It's just this seemingly separate, finite mind that thinks it's separate and incredibly thinks it knows better than all the nudges and the guidance that is actually coming through us all the time. So did all that make sense? Let me know if you have any questions, if that made sense. Let's see. And I guess, I'll come back to how to know if we're getting a nudge from the universe. It's a matter of, it's just a sense. It's impossible to describe because it's going to be different from every one of us. Sometimes it can be a line you hear in a commercial. All of a sudden it catches your attention. A line in a book. You open your page, a book, and you see a particular line on a page. Is that a nudge? Maybe. Wouldn't it be fun to live that way, though? Oh, that's another nudge. We don't try to figure it out. See, that'd be our rational mind trying to figure it out. So we don't even try to figure out what the nudge is or what it means. We just notice. Oh. And then what might come next from that? Who knows? Let's see, Sharon, as Peggy already knows, I'm writing a novel and am deep in the editing, rewriting phase. I've been very resistant to this, having set an artificial deadline to finish it. I finally realized that there is no deadline. It will be done when it is. Lo and behold, I am now enjoying this process. It's helping me work this out. So that nudge, the no deadline, gave me peace. And again, paradoxically, or is it ironically, whatever the right word is, in that letting herself realize there's no deadline and what was happening, then she naturally went back into the process and is and with a peaceful way of being with the writing. I know, aren't we funny? We think if we're in control, we'll get it done, and we have to get it done. And when we let go of control, then often we'll go ahead and do what it is with peace, as Sharon's saying, or with fun or enjoyment of some sort. Or sometimes we don't. Sometimes we don't. Maybe the universe has a better idea. All right. Thank you for being here today. Let me know if you have any questions. And really, one of our greatest gifts that we can give ourselves is just what I said right here today, to know that we're one with the universe, to allow the nudges, to follow them, and trust that we're living that unique expression that we're here to live. The universe knows. And to not listen to our thoughts. Those are what hold us back. I know we've been conditioned otherwise, but they hold us back. So one of the greatest gifts is to not listen to any thoughts. Our thoughts are actually what brings all those contractions and restrictions and fears and doubts. It can take a while for our bodies to catch up with not listening to our thoughts, because all those emotions are stored in our bodies. We've done some work with that. We haven't in a while, so note to self, maybe next week or the next week we'll do some emotional work here to help our bodies catch up to what we know. Sharon, so hard to let go of control. Yeah, but when we do, it's amazing how things become easier. Thank you. And thank you, Sharon. Thank you. And you're welcome. Okay. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for being here. Bye.